The kingdom of Aurelia was once a land of unity. But a silver river named Lunaris had long divided it in two. To the east lay Solon, a realm of gold and grandeur where marble palaces glimmered beneath the sun. To the west stretched Lyran, modest and green, where the laughter of villagers mingled with birdsong and the scent of wildflowers. Though once allies, pride and prosperity had built walls higher than any castle between them. One spring morning, after decades of distance, the two realms agreed to host the Festival of Peace beside the Lunaris River. Solon prepared glittering lanterns that danced upon the water, while Lyran brought baskets of fruit, honey, and flowers. From the balcony of his palace, Prince Adrian of Solon looked down at the humble procession. His eyes stopped when he saw a young woman in a simple white dress, wearing a crown made not of gold, but of daisies. Her smile, bright yet gentle, stilled his heart for a moment. That woman was Princess Mira of Lyran. They met that evening during the grand banquet. Adrian, used to polite flattery, found her calm and candid nature strangely disarming. "Don't you think this feast is magnificent?" he asked, gesturing at the golden hall. Mira smiled softly. "It is, but sometimes, when the light shines too brightly, people forget the darkness still exists." Her words lingered in Adrian's mind. Later, under the moon's reflection on the river, they walked and talked for hours about duty, dreams, and the strange distance between their worlds. "I wish I could see your world through your eyes," Adrian said playfully. "And I wish I could feel what it's like to live in a palace of sunlight." Mira replied with a teasing grin. Neither noticed that the moon of Lunaris was listening. The next morning, when sunlight slipped through the curtains, Adrian awoke and froze. The bed was not his. The room was smaller, filled with wildflowers and woven baskets. Then he noticed his hair, long and soft, spilling over his shoulders. His hands, delicate, smooth. When he looked into the mirror, a gasp escaped his lips. A young woman stared back at him, Princess Mira. Meanwhile, in Lyran, Mira sat up with a start. Her voice sounded deeper, foreign. She stumbled to a mirror and nearly screamed. A tall young man with tousled dark hair stared back. Prince Adrian. They had swapped bodies. At first, chaos reigned. Adrian, now in Mira's body, was dragged to a village charity event. He clumsily ladled porridge, tripped over his skirt, and forgot to curtsy. But when an old woman smiled and whispered, "Bless you, princess," something warm stirred in his chest. Later, a little girl handed him a daisy and said, "For your kindness." It was such a small thing, yet it pierced through years of gold and marble. Meanwhile, Mira, trapped in Adrian's body, endured council meetings filled with arrogance and greed. She was expected to talk about profits and trade, not compassion. The golden throne felt heavy, almost suffocating. That night, Adrian sat beside the river in Mira's form, watching his reflection ripple. "So this is what it means to live for others," he murmured. And in Solon's towering palace, Mira looked out the window, whispering to herself, "I thought wealth meant freedom, but perhaps it's just another kind of cage." A week later, Solon's delegation arrived in Lyran. When Adrian, as Mira, and Mira, as Adrian, saw each other again, they almost laughed and blushed at once, each staring at their own body. "I must say," Adrian chuckled awkwardly, "I look rather odd in that dress. And I've never felt so heavy in my life," Mira teased, glancing at his armor. They slipped away to the riverside, away from curious eyes, and shared their stories. Adrian spoke of Lyran's kindness, of people who smiled even when they had little. Mira told him of Solon's glittering emptiness, where masks were worn not on faces but on hearts. The moonlight shimmered over the water as they stood in silence, realizing something had changed, within themselves. And between them. Adrian had always thought love was a game of charm and beauty. But now, looking at Mira, though she wore his face, he felt something deeper. Purer. When the full moon rose again, a soft silver glow enveloped them both. They lost consciousness for a moment, and when their eyes opened, they were themselves once more. Mira touched her familiar face, tears of relief and wonder glistening in her eyes. Adrian flexed his hands, smiling faintly. But neither of them were the same as before. Adrian returned to Solon and began reforming his kingdom, reducing vanity and extravagance, opening schools, supporting healers, and inviting Lyran's people to trade and learn. Mira, in turn, encouraged her mother to welcome Solon's knowledge and craftsmanship, to bring comfort and growth to her people. The river Lunaris that once divided them now became a bridge of friendship. 1 year later, Solon and Lyran signed the Treaty of Unity. During the ceremony, Prince Adrian stepped forward, his gaze calm but bright. "Princess Mira of Lyran," he said, "you showed me that true strength lies not in riches, but in kindness. Will you help me build a world where sunlight and compassion shine together?" Mira smiled through her tears. "I saw your heart, when it was beating inside me. And I know it's pure. Yes, Adrian, I will." Cheers erupted on both sides of the river. Their wedding was simple, no diamonds, no fireworks, only moonlight and daisy crowns, the flowers Mira loved most. From that day, Solon and Lyran became one, a land where prosperity was shared and compassion was taught from the cradle. The people called their beloved rulers by a single name: the sun and the moon. Two souls who once traded places to learn how to love the world, and each other. The story, The Prince and the Humble Princess, conveys a heartfelt message about the true meaning of love and humanity. Though born into different worlds, both Adrian and Mira learned compassion by seeing life through each other's eyes. Material wealth shines brightest only when illuminated by kindness and empathy. When power bows to goodness, and the heart learns to put others first, that is the true strength of a kingdom. Their love stands as proof that riches cannot create happiness, only a loving heart can.